Hey everybody, my name is Delania Patrice Braden. I'm also known as Delania Queenie Braden. I'm on here today because I've been talking to a lot of people who have lost their spouse. Funny because I'm one of those people. I lost my husband 3 years ago. And to know that today, without a degree, without any formal education, I'm helping people get through the life of a widow, the new normal, the club that nobody wants to be a part of, the club I wouldn't recruit anybody for, the club that even with so many members is such a lonely place to be, the club that the friends that you thought were going to be there they exist physically, but if they've never lost a spouse, which is something I don't wish on anyone, they don't know how to be there. They don't know what to say. They don't know what to do. As much as we think they would know, it's like they're afraid to come around anymore. That friend that if you broke your leg, bring you a box of chicken, some soup or something, run to the store, get you some medicine. But being a friend to somebody who's lost their spouse, somehow they forget that you still gotta eat. Sometimes they call you and they forget your spouse's name. They don't even mention it. And it's because of a couple of reasons. They're afraid that they're going to bring up those emotions and make you cry. Or they're afraid that they're going to have to listen to you for at least an hour, talk about how much you miss them and all of the things that you go through that they cannot relate to. And it's funny because I remember being in that room balled up, barely any clothes on, just barely hanging on, because the love of my life had succumbed to pancreatic cancer. That was the most devastating thing I'd ever experienced in my life. And mind you, I lost my mother 5 months before. And I thought that was just it. But when my husband died, it was a whole nother hurt. It was a whole nother pain that only somebody that lost a spouse could understand. I sit in this house that we shared together, and the noise, the silence is so loud. It literally make you think you're going crazy. Sometimes I call my name the way I remember him calling me. When he wants me to see something on his laptop or he wants me to read something, he would call out, D! D! Come here, baby. I gotta show you something. My husband was 6'5", about 310 pounds. beautiful, gentle giant with the heaviest, heartiest voice and just a laugh that shook the whole house. I couldn't imagine going from that to this. The ticking of the clock is the loudest thing in this house aside from me speaking. The beautiful love story that preceded that just never, ever gave me a clue or a warning that I would have to watch him fight for his life and eventually just give up and say he's ready to go be with the Lord. So many things went into that whole process. It was just so devastating to me. The love of my life. I had 5 amazing years with him. That's more than people who've been married 20, 30 years. They probably have barely gotten a good 5 out, but all 5 were just amazing with my gentle giant, Robert. There comes the arrangements, there comes the funeral, the memorial service, the repass. After the repass, your phone stops ringing, no more text messages. You out of the blue cry. Just out of the blue, you feel your face wet. And you're like, where did that come from? Because you're in this fog. And you don't even know how to ask God to lift you out of it. Then you go to your church. And people look at you like, what's wrong? They have this pitiful, sad look. What's wrong, D? What you think is wrong? Why would you ask me that after I just lost my man? What you think is wrong with me? And then some people tell you need to smile, D. You need to do, no, I don't. I don't need to smile. I don't need to do shit. I don't need to do shit to make y'all happy, to make y'all feel better. I don't have to do none of that. You need to smile. You need to do this. No, I don't need to do nothing. If there was ever a time in my life I'm completely doing me, because I got to figure this thing out, is after the loss of a spouse. People want you to smile, and then sometimes you do that stuff. You smile and you go on like everything is okay, and inside you are dying. You ready to go home, you ready to go get in your car, you done. And you only doing that so that other people can feel better. That's not what this is. That's not going to make the hurt go away. The longer you push your feelings down like they trash, the more it piles up and the heavier it gets. You get physically ill. You keep a headache just keeping that stuff down. But when you address it, and you face that thing head on, that's when the healing begins. Some of us can't expect friends to call and just check in. D, you all right? I'm counseling with a gentleman right now. We got friends that's 30 plus years that don't even call, don't even check, don't even offer to buy a plate. His wife passed a couple of months ago. And his best friend of 30 years, he told me this himself. He said he ain't even bring him a sandwich. Not a sandwich. But you've been my ride or die for 30 years. And now that my life has changed, you done disappeared. It makes you feel some kind of way. It's like, where did everybody go? I'm thankful to God that this experience has taught me how to really get through it myself, by myself. But my friends who have lost a spouse, as long as I'm around, they don't have to go through it by themselves. I'm here. I just got through baking some red velvet bundt cakes, and it's just been on my heart to come on here. And I'm thinking my next upload or my next live will be how I met the love of my life, Robert. I bring on some pictures of him and talk about how we met. And it's a real love story. So if you're watching this video and you're a lonely widow and you don't have anyone to talk to, I'm just putting this out here. Click like, share, and subscribe. This is the first day of my channel, The Widow Warriors. We're going to get through this together. But as I sign off, I want to pray for you, man or woman, who has lost their spouse and don't have anybody to talk to. People are afraid to dial your number. People are afraid to mention your love's name. It's a real thing. We try to seek counsel in church, and the counselors that are certified counselors in church tell you it's a conflict of interest to counsel with you. And then they send you outside of the church. But the church is supposed to be the answer. See, that's confusing to me. And it's confusing to a couple of other people that I've spoken with that are dealing with that. Self-care and healthy boundaries are very important. And these are some of the things that I have had to use to get through. I'm in a better place. I'm living my truth. Unapologetically, I am being completely who I am. I've had to redefine who Delania Queenie Braden is. So if there's anything you'd like to ask, place it in the comments. If there's experience you'd like to share, maybe I can use how I got through it. Because I'm pretty sure, from people asking, well, you going to get married again? Or I got a friend I can introduce you to. It's always something. But it's never the actual care that I need It's a band-aid. They're always trying to present a band-aid on a big hole in your heart. So if this has helped somebody, I am coming back on. Please click thumbs up. Subscribe to my new channel. And share with your friends and loved ones, especially those who have lost a spouse themselves. I don't know what my next one is going to be, but I'm thinking it's going to be how we met, how I met the love of my life. And all the people, the naysayers, that had all the reasons why I shouldn't, when my loyalty was not to them, it's to God, who told me I needed to be with this man. He was the one for me. So I appreciate you for listening. I'm gonna go back in here and finish my red velvet bundt cakes. I'm making the icing. Just something that I've been doing lately, just to keep my mind on things and handle them better, not to take my mind off of them. You can't circumvent the healing process. You embrace it. It definitely makes you stronger. Peace and blessings, everyone. This is Queenie Braden signing off. Click like, share, and subscribe to my channel, Widow Warriors. Peace out. Have an amazing night.